All right, so yeah, we're gonna play some of our demo gameplay here. I got a few people joining me. I'm Jake. I guess programmer and director are probably the most appropriate titles for me right now. Who else is here? Who else jumped on the call?
This is Jaden, or Numberless, and I guess right now I'm like the character designer, more or less, stat designer, something like that.
All right. I guess Emily, are you joining us today, or are you gonna lurk and just make fun of our gameplay?
I thought oh no, it's cool. I thought I'd do a little bit of both. How's that sound?
All right, that seems fine.
Okay.
Sounds great.
All right, so
all right.
Emily's also one of our gameplay designers, so I think this is basically the whole design team here right now. So I've played this a little bit. I'm just gonna jump into. I think I'm gonna go into. Have I done level 3? I haven't unlocked level 3 yet. So there's 3 levels in the demo that are unlocked, and I've played through the first 2. I haven't completely beaten them, but I've got to almost the end of level 2. And it took me about 2 hours, so I didn't realize how much content there was in our demo, but there's actually like 2 to 3 hours. One guy's got like almost 5 hours in the game. I saw on our Steam metrics.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's like, oh my goodness. If we're gonna have 15 levels in the final game, how long is this game gonna be?
I'm really excited to hear that level editor. I imagine like a Doom sort of situation where we just kind of like keep throwing some packs at people.
Yeah, just like, hey, I had an idea for a level. Here's a new one.
Here you go. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Not enough of that is done these days, I don't think, so that sounds nice.
Not a lot of just for the fun of it. Here's some more levels.
It's always paid DLC. You remember whenever DLC was free?
I'm thinking back to the GameCube where like DLC was another disc.
Exactly.
It was still that way on the 360. Oh, no, it was OG Xbox. But no, I'm talking about, was it Left 4 Dead? Left 4 Dead had free DLC too, free maps.
My first major game was like Super Smash Bros. And you didn't get any DLC unless you like beat the game 8 times.
Oh, dang. We could do some of that too, who knows?
It's probably future expansion.
Right.
That level editor though, I think that'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, especially if we can repackage it and get it out to people. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to get like
I agree.
I want to get an endless mode. I don't know if that'll be at release, but like I was thinking one of the like future, it wouldn't be like a DLC, it would just be an expansion, is like getting a leaderboard set up and whatnot. So
I love that.
Like an endless mode with a leaderboard and ways to make it harder.
We can just throw the whole campaign at them over the course of...
Yeah. Yeah, if you think it's too long.
I prefer long games. But alright, so what I'm doing here, I've actually been really enjoying missiles. They're not like the strongest weapon in the game, but I don't know why I had a lot of fun when I was playing earlier. Just having a bunch of these gunboats with their missile launchers, it's just fun to watch them streak across the map.
It is pretty fun. It's fun. It's like satisfying to see them hit. Yeah.
The sound effects team did a really good job with those impact noises. We're still working on some of the sound effects, but the missile explosions, those are good. Those are top notch. But this has kind of been my go-to start, is a bunch of gunboats and then a support cruiser or destroyer in the middle with some shield repping just to keep them alive later in the game. And then eventually I'll build up like a secondary fleet back at the station. I say it's been working pretty good for me, but like I haven't beaten this level yet. I like die on wave 21 every time.
Now you're getting into some of the more interesting ships as well.
Open fire.
Yeah, the cruiser, this light cruiser actually does like a lot of work as like a static defense kind of ship.
Right.
Yeah, that's just so cool to watch those.
it took me a while to get around to looking at the acceleration mechanic that was added, but once I did, you were right. It really did add like a whole new dynamic to how everything was moving.
Yeah, and like the fleet kind of going around themselves here is pretty fun to watch.
I was gonna say, I love that. One of my favorite things to do. It's kind of a Hail Mary. Is I'll just kind of like bring the ships to either side of the line as the enemies are going past it, just to make the ships do like little maneuvers on their paths.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite things to do in this so far.
Yeah, that's kind of been like my focus on the development side. It's just making movement really smooth. So like last night I was sitting around and I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna add? How do I make this smoother? So just now I have, double click, got all my gunboats. There we go.
That's
I was really happy with how that worked. I'm adding like a, where'd you come from, sir?
Open fire.
I'm adding a shift click now.
That's awesome.
That's it's proving to be a little bit harder to do. Oh, there's a little bit of a, okay. Yeah, shift click to select disparate units is a little bit harder than I thought it would be to implement. There's too much spaghetti in the code.
That's cool though. So,
Not enough spaghetti. You could have written it in Java.
No shade intended against the developers who have written in Java. You guys are a different breed.
Right, yeah, though it takes some major patience and dedication to write anything in Java.
it's taken back over, man.
I know. So I think I cut you off. What were you gonna say before?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah.
One thing I do know is that I'm kind of excited to like go through every time that I watch more development get done on this and see people play it. It gives me more ideas for how it can work out. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I'm looking forward to seeing the AI path develop a little bit more because it's fixed right now, isn't it?
So no, it's there's fixed points on this map. You can kind of see it where the harsh turns are. So like down here where that harsh turn is, that's one of the fixed points, and up here is one of the fixed points. But everything between those fixed points is all using the dynamic system.
That's sweet.
So I was playing this the other day. I got a really funny loop where it came up here, went back around, and came down the bottom of the map.
I kind of like the harsh turns. Like, it's kind of giving them little like maneuvers, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I saw him dodge a few rockets earlier, just because of the acceleration on the turn.
Because it's so quick. Yeah, the rockets miss. All right, so yeah. Okay, cool. So I was really worried because saving this heat map is huge. So I checked. It didn't calculate the heat map right at first, but the path. But now it's back to where it was. Okay. Because the path calculation is deterministic.
I was gonna say it did look like it was on there, but yeah, it looks right now.
All right. One thing that I am looking forward to in like future demos is giving people access to some of these structures because they're like game changing. They're huge. They're gonna be so much fun.
I've honestly been spending so much time just figuring out the base ships and the enemy ships lately that I totally forgot there were structures.
That's okay. They're not available in the beta right now just because, oh my goodness, they are not balanced at all, even remotely.
Are they broken in a game-breaking sense or in a balanced sense?
Balanced sense. They work when you spawn them in, except for the mine deploying tower. That one just doesn't spawn mines because it hasn't been upgraded to deal with the new path. And I'm honestly kind of wondering how we want to do it with that. Do you want to, like, maybe the community can chime in here. There's a chat feature, or you guys can jump on the Discord. In the demo, there's a link in the menu to feedback, and that'll take you to the Discord if you want to jump in and talk with us.
Nice plug.
Ha! My pro YouTuber strats. Yeah, so we're always taking ideas for turret types, ship classes, structures, heck, even map ideas. Like, we just want to have fun with this game, and if you have a way to have more fun, like, we'd love to hear that.
I was gonna say our community is definitely still growing, but we have actually taken quite a few ideas from them.
I like how gently you put that.
Yeah.
Our community's still growing. It's small, all right, guys. You can get in at the ground floor, right at the beginning. It doesn't take a lot of effort to be the #1 fan right now, because this is the first real, like.
All it takes is 6 hours.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends, I looked at that guy that almost has 5 hours in the demo. Yeah, that's one of my buddies. I checked. I'm like, geez, have you been playing on the Steam demo or the private release I sent you? And he's like, on the Steam. I'm like, oh, so you're the guy. Dang it, I thought that was some rando.
Oh.
That's funny though. That means that I probably have the most hours.
I don't know. I like
Outside of Steam.
Yeah, the philosophy I had with when I was starting out last year before you all joined, is I have like 5 or 6 different projects I'm working on, and whichever one felt like more fun is the one that I worked on, and then
nice.
I just kept working on this one.
That's a good way to do stuff.
So I took a couple breaks and worked on some prototypes, and then when I wasn't really feeling this game, and then I'd be working on those for a while, and then I'd come up with an idea in there, and like, oh my goodness, I know how to implement this in the Fall of Aether Station. I'm gonna go do that, and then I would be back on this for 3 months.
Send us in
Nice.
en route.
That's a lot of how I kind of started my own understanding of design, and kind of learning about that stuff was just I like come across a design idea and be like, what would this work well in? And just kind of like came up with like a half dozen ideas, kind of like you showed me the other day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like take the stuff you love and put it where it fits.
Yeah, my whole thing is that if it's not fun to develop, it's probably not going to be fun to play.
Yes, that's true.
So, and I think that comes through in a lot of AAA titles too. There's like some features that, oh wow, this designer, they had a lot of fun with this. And then there's other features like, you had to do this, didn't you? Like, you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Like
I like that this game is kind of a little bit more inspired. Though. Like, it's not just like, let's do tower defense. It's like, we'll throw on there to kind of like spin it up a little bit.
Exactly. That's what I like about it as well, is that it's a little bit of a mishmash of a couple genres, which suits it. I mean, it's about time that we have a little more variety in tower defense.
yeah, that's kind of what I felt
At least I think.
too. Like, I love tower defense games, and I love the current meta of tower defense games. But I feel like the current meta has been the current meta for like 8 years, and there hasn't been like a Plants vs Zombies level shakeup to tower defense. I mean, reverse tower defense is cool, and path modification is cool. I really like that. I don't think anybody's gone as extreme as we're going with path modification yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we're the first to do it. I'm not saying we invented anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. I am not that bold. I'm sure somebody else has done this before. And hey, if you guys in the chat know somebody else who's done this before, we would love to play that game and get some ideas from that. So if you know a game that has done something similar to this, we'd love to check it out.
I like this loop coming up.
Yeah, this funky stuff that I didn't even remotely expect when I put in the fixed points comes up, and it's like, oh, hey, this is kind of a nice double back. But
It'd
now,
be cool if we got more acceleration as they approach the fixed points. Go ahead, sorry.
well, no, you're good, because that's kind of like actually leads into something else I was kind of thinking of. Do we want to give the ships like realistic movement stuff? So like when they're coming around these turns, they have to slow down to take the turn. If they're coming up on this double back, they have to slow down to take the double back, like almost come to a stop at the end and turn around.
Yeah, I think that would add to it.
As long as we don't make like a death funnel strat, that's the main thing to avoid, I feel like, because that's really what brings us back to just doing the normal stuff of the tower defense game.
That kind of harkens.
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. It kind of lends to what I was talking about a little bit before with the having levels that the enemies not necessarily could interact with, but making the game a little more varied using the level itself. And if that kind of thing was implemented, then it would really enhance the that kind of level composition.
Oh, I forgot that was how you spawn the ship. I was so used to right-click place, left place, cancel that I hit left-click to cancel a summon, and I forgot I didn't change that around yet.
I was gonna say, when you changed that over, I literally was about to come tell you that the game wasn't working before I like reread.
Yeah. What was? I forget. We got a ton of great feedback from our playtesting session. Which, shameless plug again, if you want to be part of, there's a form on the Discord that you can fill out, and I'll get your email, and I'll send you an email for when we have a new playtesting build. And like, we're just here to have fun, so if you join the Discord and you want access to like our design build, like our design tools in the back end, I have no problem sending that out to you. Like, I will happily provide you with a design build so you can customize waves and whatnot.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to work with right now, but if you want to throw something in there.
You take that back. That's flawless. That's a beautiful system. I don't want to hear it.
It is pretty beautiful. It just catches me off guard whenever it resets the stats.
Yeah, for which ones? Whoa!
Just that first time, whenever I was putting in all the ship stats, and I spent like 2 or 3 hours going from the spreadsheet to the stat sheet, and right afterwards I went to go change one stat, and I hit save, and I realized that it reset them. So all of my work was done.
Is the saving not working?
10 minutes. No, it's working now.
Oh, okay.
It just sometimes it shows the default settings or the default stats of the game instead of the actual modified stat sheet.
Okay. Oh,
Like
man,
sometimes. So you just have to pay attention to it if it loads in wrong. But this is a technical thing.
But that's what we're kind of talking about. But first off, let's talk about this path. Like, where the heck did they come up with this? Like I was saying a little bit earlier, the pathing that the enemies come up with, like you can influence it, but the only way you can influence it is by killing them in certain spots. So like you can't, it's not direct path manipulation like a lot of other games are doing. We're trying to do it a little bit differently, and that enemy deaths trigger a grid that draws here that tells you like where they've died the most, and they're going to try and find the least resistance path to their, well, first their fixed points and then the station itself. And so somehow they've calculated that this is the most efficient route they could take. I do not understand that.
I'm really rooting for the multiple choice fixed points thing, where if one point gets too hot, maybe they switch over to a different one to really throw up your strategy.
Is that what you were trying to say by like points moving around?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It's just kind of hard to relay that over Discord sometimes when I'm tired.
Okay, because I think we might actually, yeah, so I've actually unlocked level 3 now.
Nice.
So we can go do that. That one has 2 paths. So, and those paths, I set it up so they have like pathing channels. So that way they all have like, they each have their own independent fixed points. Uh-oh, this is bad. I don't think I'm gonna... Wait, I lost one of these ships. He died. This is not good. Can I save off one more wave? Come on, guys. One more.
See, this next wave of design change is going to be a lot of change to the way that the enemy waves work, as well as probably just kind of being centered around energy, to where we'll actually really be like balancing the enemies against the player ships that we have, and then we can start to figure out how, what are they called, the structures fit in.
Yeah.
Which should be exciting.
Yeah, the other weapon I'm really trying to get unlocked is the bomb turret. I don't have all the turrets unlocked. I want to get the bombs, but it looks like I only got thought we almost beat wave 21, so I keep losing there.
See, yeah, the enemy waves are kind of set up in a way right now where they just like spike in difficulty a little bit unpredictably. So I want to get something that's a little bit more intuitive to the player whenever if they're trying to like pay attention to how the enemies are working.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I have you guys here, because I'm not good at that. I like very difficult games that are extremely punishing, but that is not what we're trying to do with literally the first 3 levels of the game.
See, that's also where the energy comes in, because I think we can still. It's not that we have to like make it less punishing. We just have to like redistribute that punishment so that it's not just like, oh fuck, I didn't realize these last 20 minutes were building to this.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what one of the playtesters said. He's like, I could handle the difficulty. I'm really good. And I watched his video. He's actually, I think he might be better than me at this game. But it's like, other players are not going to handle this well. And so that's why, like, for those of you watching, you saw the energy goes up. I guess I should have explained that. The energy goes up per second, and it's going up by 3 per second. You don't get any energy when an enemy dies. But you get 3 per second, and then there's a skip wave cooldown that you can do to give you more energy. I also do have a station upgrade. So in our upgrades menu, you can upgrade every single ship. You can upgrade every single turret in multiple different ways. This is going to be reworked, but it's not bad right now. It's interesting. It's just not the vision that we're going for with the game right now.
It's just kind of filler.
Yeah. It has a lot of impact.
You might expect, it's just not the cool things you don't expect yet. Or it's not the cool things that you'd hope for yet. It's just all the things that you would expect.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I love this track. This is my favorite track in the whole game.
It's actually really grown on me.
Yeah, did I tell you the name of it? It's Welcome Reprieve. So it's reprieve means delay and punishment, and it's
That's
between
lovely.
the levels. I was so happy when I came up with that name. I was like, ah, yeah.
Did you do that song?
JB Allen composing is the sound guy. He does all of our soundtrack, and oh my goodness, that dude was a godsend.
Pretty good.
I cannot express my pleasure with the soundtrack. Like, that was like one of the first things I had him do. The main theme was the first track, and he made that. Like, that's the attitude we're going for.
Shout out to your boy JB Allen.
Yeah.
He's in Discord, right?
Yeah, he's in the Discord. He's super busy, so maybe don't blow up his DMs.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe don't shout him out.
Yeah. But all right. So I think that's where we're gonna cut it here, and we'll probably put up different videos throughout the week for you folks at DreamHack. Stick around. This video is gonna loop. You'll be able to watch it again and from the start if you're just joining us. But we'll catch you guys throughout DreamHack here this week. Maybe see us on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, this isn't going to loop unless you restart the video, which go ahead and do that. That's totally fine by us.
See you again and again and again.
Yeah. But we'll catch you later. Check out the demo. Jump in the Discord. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you for joining us. And if you have any love for this game that you want to share, or just love for video games in general, please reach out.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts. For now, take care, guys. See you later.
Peace out.